This is the all-new Poco F5 5G and powered with the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2.
This thing is incredible. And if you're new here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and put in the comment box that I subscribe. I'll try to reply to as much as I can. So now let's just start with the unboxing.
Okay, so its box does look a little gaming inspired, but it just looks pretty much like any normal box. And here we have a SIM ejection tool, and here we have a transparent case, and then underneath that we have the phone itself, but more about the looks and all later. Okay, so underneath that we have kind of like a charger compartment where we have a pretty bulky looking 67 watt power brick and a USB Type-C cable.
Okay, so now let's talk about the design of this thing. So first of all, it's very comfortable to hold, and then
We have these boxy edges, kind of like what Apple has done, and as we move on to the back, it kind of curves and it looks great.
now let's talk about the back side. So on the back side, we have this camera module which doesn't have the border, kind of like what Samsung has done. Move on to the sides. On this side, we have the volume buttons, and then we have the power button, which also adds up as a fingerprint scanner. And speaking about that, the fingerprint scanner is actually very fast. And yeah, we do have the face unlock feature, which is pretty fast as well. And then as we come down, we have these holes for the speaker, and then we have this USB-C port, and then we have another hole which should be for the mic, and then we have the SIM slot, and we can put two SIMs in it, but we can't put an SD card in it. And then the other side is like empty, and then on the top side we have a headphone jack, which is amazing as of now. And then we have the second speakers maybe, and then we have the IR blaster, and then we have another hole which I don't know why. So coming to the front, we have this punch hole camera, and so overall I just love the look. Okay, so now let's talk about the specs of this thing. So one of the main attractions of this phone for me is that this has Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2 as a processor, and it's great. Like, it's built on the same architecture as that of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and its Antutu score is higher than Snapdragon 888 and 888 Plus, and it's close to 8 Gen 1, and all this is great. And yeah, so its processor is awesome. And as for the storage and RAM, we have two variants: 8GB RAM and 256GB storage, and 12GB RAM and 256GB storage, and both are pretty good. And 256GB storage is provided even in the base variant, and that's nice. Like, it's nice to have 256GB storage on your phone, right? So now let's talk about the camera specs. So we have a 64MP main camera, and then we have an 8MP ultra wide camera, and then we have a 2MP macro camera, and we have a 16MP selfie camera. As with the display, we have a 6.67 inches FHD Plus AMOLED display with a refresh rate of up to 120Hz and touch sampling rate of 240Hz, and this is able to display up to 68 billion colors. The numbers are going crazy as of now, and I'm saying display a bit too much, I think. And the display does feel very smooth to use, and playing videos in it, like, it just feels amazing. It's very It's a very nice quality display.
Okay, so now let's talk about the software experience on this phone. So the whole MIUI just looks and feels really good, and we do have a lot of bloatware apps coming pre-installed in this, but yeah, that's how MI does it, I guess. And yeah, I really like the software experience, and we have like this thing that you can pull from the left while you're playing games or while you're watching YouTube. You can just pull this thing from the left, and it's kind of like you've unlocked a whole lot of things to do, and I really like it. And we have this Dolby Atmos feature, and it does really make a difference in the audio.
So now let's talk about the performance. I'd say for testing the performance, gaming is actually a very nice option. So playing games with this, I don't think I've had a single frame drop with this phone, and it's like very smooth to play games. And I think games like Roblox are pretty heavy, at least a little, and I've played Roblox with this, and I don't think I've had a single frame drop. At least it wasn't noticeable, and it was very smooth. And the overall performance with other things like casual use, everything, it's like perfect. Yeah, so the performance is great. So now let's talk about the cameras.
Okay, so both the selfie camera and the rear camera produce great images. The edges, the color tone, everything is just great. And the rear camera is obviously a step ahead, but both are great, and both of them capture a lot of detail as well, and the portraits are great as well. And hey, look at that, it is blurring many parts of the photo, but it isn't blurring this part. It might be because it's thinking that that part has some meaning in the photo. Okay, so 10x is the maximum that you can zoom in this phone, and it does provide a bit of usable details. And the ultra-wide photos are pretty good as well, and the background shots produce great results as well. I mean, just look at that. And the night shots are great as well. Okay, so this is being shot at 1080p at 60 fps with the selfie camera. So that's the max resolution for the selfie camera, and I really like the results. So it's awesome. Okay, so this is being recorded at 4K at 30 fps with the Poco F5, and I'm using the device's mic itself, so you can say how good or bad the audio quality is. And I think it produces great results, and yeah, I really like the video quality with this one. And yeah, this is the max resolution for it. Okay, so this is being recorded without any stabilization, so let me just show it to you. Okay, so now let's do it with the stabilization. Okay, so this is with stabilization. However, it is restricted to 1080p at 30 fps. But yeah, let me just show it to you guys.
On his shoulder, just incredible!
Yeah, so that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and join me in the next video.